Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to FMLFPL, Milan.
Miss Walsh.
International break. Vibes are in the air.
They're always in the air. What they smell like and sound like are anyone's guess.
I know vibes kind of has a positive connotation, but vibes can be real bad.
Yeah, not here. Not on our podcast.
Not like this.
Yeah. It's like I feel as one with David Coote in this moment.
Oh my God, the Coote.
This must be what it feels like.
Just do the whole pod.
To have the world collapse inside of itself.
On coke on your couch with David Coote. That's the pod. I mean, he is fucking on something. He is fucking off his face in that video. I don't think it's alcohol.
Could have been anything.
But another dark week for FML.
We're at arrows. That's all we do.
Oh my God.
All we do here, baby.
My little bit of positivity when I was getting ready to record is you got to take the wins. We're taking the losses. The losses are strangling us to death. But, Wood blank, Rico 0-pointer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are little things here and there. Flecking, no clean again. I'm like, yeah, let's go. None of them lead to us getting points on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, this in between international break window, just 4 straight reds for me. Complete tank.
Same
tank job. Yeah.
3 straight for me.
Yeah, I got 4 in a row here since the last break was after, this 4-week period. So I'm seeing red. Feeling red.
But
it's blurry because my eyes are full of water.
Oh, God.
It's one of those, right?
I guess it's feeling blue, seeing red. I don't know.
Sure.
Kind of complicated. Blue doesn't really exist in the game, but Here's Team Milan. Knocking on the door of 1 million, down almost 400K.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. I was 924K in game week 2. Then fast forward to now, I'm 980K. It's just 8 free transfers and a wild card later, and I'm fucking gray arrowing for 10 straight weeks. Yeah, I'm just running in place. That's all I'm doing.
Good game. So talk through, because you did a kind of a last day transfer change of mind.
Yeah, I was probably going to save, and then I just saw some lines of a path that I liked, which, to be honest, I don't know, you might remember better than me. We were DMing like frantically in the moment, but I did Archer and Rico out for Strand Larson and Milenkovic. If you've been listening to the pod, everyone knows I'm obsessed with Milenkovic and think he's great. And JSL, I've been really high on all season also.
I don't know if I can get behind that acronym, by the way.
JSL.
I know you're trying to make it a thing. I don't know if it's...
I'm not even trying to make... It's not fetch. I'm not trying to make it fetch, but
you're
like
fetching a little bit.
It's just long. Strand Larson.
I like just Strand.
I can roll with Strand.
Bookstore.
Strand bookstore, yeah. I'm down with Strand. Let's make it official. It's Strand. So, brought in Strand. I've been happy with him all season long. Wolves are obviously terrible, and he's not fucking amazing, but he's cheap as hell, and their fixtures are unbelievable. And didn't work out, and ended up in -5 because I would have started Mikalenko over Rico had I just rolled. So that's not pretty, but long term, I'm hoping Strand finds some points. Captain Haaland, he got a goal. He missed 5 more chances, and then he got a yellow card in like the 96th minute to take him out of bonus. So that's my life. That's what we're doing here. I'm a Liverpool fan. I fucking love Mo so much, and I have a fantasy team, and I don't own him. What's a fucking fantasy team if you don't own your favorite players on your favorite teams? That's the question right there. What are we doing?
Good question.
What the fuck? We both love Mo. We both don't own him.
Yeah. Well, had owned him, sold him.
Oh, I own. I started with him game week 1. Why wouldn't I?
We own and sell here.
Why wouldn't I own the best attacker in the last fucking decade and the best FPL asset of all time game week 1? Of course I did.
Of course you did.
Then I got a wild card him out.
Yeah. Cannot hodl. Gotta get rid.
Have to get rid. Easy sell. But you got a plus 16 on your transfers, so tell me about that.
This was the first set of transfers that I actually got points off of this year. My last time I did my 4 frees was a minus 40. This time,
I just like to say, not an exaggeration for those who have not been following.
Actual minus 40. And that was just the week that ensued. I don't even want to go through how many points we don't have to do that. Yeah, we don't need that type of like sadistic porn something. I don't know what it is. 47. Bruno in.
Went down a lot. Yeah, Bruno
went down a lot. Huge red. Bruno in. Got points. Strand did not get points.
Yeah.
Captain Solanke will get there.
Did not get points.
Didn't get points. Didn't work out. Did put Rico third on my bench. Got 1 extra point by starting Pau.
Let's fucking go.
Best move I made.
That's
probably
what I'm saying.
All international break.
We gotta celebrate the wins in what is otherwise a hellscape.
Yeah, I mean, that was just my favorite thing by far of the weekend. And then the Trent injury, that hurt us a lot. I was trying to track back because I feel like I've had double Liverpool
7 or something.
Yeah, something like that. I feel like I've had double Liverpool defense like maybe 8 game weeks. And I think they've gotten something like 5 cleans. And I think I've gotten a double for their cleans like maybe once or twice. Like
because you also have the Konate injury. All right, and the Robbo doesn't start. Yeah.
Trent, it's just been one thing after another over there. So that's been cool.
Yeah.
Cool and fun. And Raya just baited me so hard. I feel like such a fucking idiot. It's insane every week. But my team is a complete disaster and I don't know what to do. Well, I know what I'm going to do, but
maybe funny is not the right word, but it is kind of funny that I think it was game week 9 was when we both did Saka and Kai out, which was good and right.
Yep.
And I brought in Darwin and Palmer and you brought in Dom and Palmer. And our huge regret was, oh my God, I can't believe we didn't get Wood because he fucking hauled ass, right? And Wood has more points than Dom in that time, barely. Has more points than Darwin in that time by single digits. The real fucking thing is like you were saying, we got to get Mo on Thursday on the Patreon pod that week. On the live stream, you're like, it's fucking Mo, Cap Mo, blah, blah, blah. And the difference between him and Palmer is fucking 20 points. It's way more than our guys.
I mean, no, dude, over the last 4 game weeks, it's like 40 points. He's gotten crazy. 50 points and Palmer's gotten like 15 or something.
Yeah.
Bad job.
Did not work.
Yeah, we're
out
doing
in
bad.
favor.
We're back in our element here, doing badly at FPL.
We're doing real bad, and I get the pleasure of getting invited on. Oh my God, I don't even know the name of his pod, Sir Talp's pod, whatever it's called, FPL Optimize, maybe something like that. This week, I think I'm doing another, LR postmortem kind of look back. Next week, just when everything's at its worst. So, we'll figure it out. We'll get out of this.
November, I have no part of any of that.
No,
Good luck.
No. Yeah,
Good luck to you.
Yeah,
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
I talk for a living. Yeah. I'm on the Coote diet when I'm in front of the mic. Don't worry about that. First place in the November Mug League. I think there's one more game week to go because the international break. Maybe 2. No, two more game weeks to go. Eddie, aka Positive Jam. Second place, Nick Killam, aka Ghostface Killam. And then Jordan Henry in third, aka Devon Intervention FC. No idea what that means. Lyle Mosley, aka Don't Panic, top of the public league. Where are we going to begin?
We could start wherever you'd like, Alon.
There's so many things.
Yeah.
But some of them are quicker than others. I mean, you DM'd me the other day and we're just like, so Spurs.
And dude, I don't want to start with this. I don't want to start with Spurs.
I think it's easy because
get people tuned off.
It's just never cap. Right?
Never cap.
Never cap. They're not a capable team because they're way too inconsistent. And that's like the big lesson I think we learned with the Ipswich game. It's just like that's best or second best fixture of the year. They create nothing. They do nothing, create nothing. Terrible.
Yeah. And it's so, I don't know why we've been doing this for so many years and we don't listen to ourselves. I mean, they go through 90-minute periods of creating nothing from open play. We've watched them play 50 games in the Premier League under this manager. They do that routinely.
Yeah.
They've been doing that routinely since he arrived.
Yep.
They score 4 goals periodically. Sure. We've seen that. That's also almost just as routine. But these types of performances are, emblematic of this regime, basically. And you look at their results: draw, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Like, that is the definition of inconsistency. Yep. So they don't really cap. You can't cap. I mean, own at your peril. Own if it's, you're putting a small amount of money into it. Own if you think you see a little window, a little thing over here, thing over there. But it's just, forget about, at least, dude, one thing I can say, at least we didn't fucking fall for Son. I mean, we haven't had Son all year.
That was not on the table for us. Yeah.
I think it was on the table because there were plenty of times where he had these little windows of good fixtures. Or like, fucking Saka has blah 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 blah. Like, Son, same price. He's been a disaster, and he put that good ball in, but it's like, whatever. He's playing so wide, and all his shots get blocked. Blah blah blah. Same shit as always, but. Yeah, BJ's, he got his one enormous chance. He just took it a couple. Missed them. It's just the same fucking record on repeat. It's kind of
funny. They have the most goals in the entire league.
Yeah.
And half of their games are scored 2-1, 1-1, 0-0. The other half are scored 4-4, 4-3-3.
Yeah, you have no idea who's going to turn up.
It's fucking insane. It's Battleship. The Battleship FPL is what Spurs are. Sometimes you fucking hit and they sink the Battleship and they score 4. Sometimes you fucking miss and they can blank against anyone. And they deserve to blank against Ipswich.
They deserve to lose that game, and I'm glad that they didn't snap something at the end, because Ipswich deserved 3 points. They were the better team from the kickoff. They're just better.
They scored the same amount of goals against Leicester, 1. They blank against Arsenal, fair enough. They blank against Palace. Then they just score 4 against Villa. This team's
one
ridiculous.
Goal to Newcastle at the beginning of the year when they're a mess. Yeah.
But luckily, that's all we need to say about them.
Yeah, well, they're a mess. I will be selling Solanke this week. Will not own their players. I think I might just not go there again for the rest of the year.
Well, I was going to comment on what you said, is that you can own, and I still think the cheapest asset all season that's relevant has been BJ.
Yeah.
He just gets points. You don't want to think about him. You don't want to transfer him. You don't know when they're going to score 4. You don't know when they're going to score 0, as we just pointed out. And he just gets big chances every game. And he has 4 goals. That's good.
Yeah, he's 6'8".
4 goals
he's 6'8". Yeah, he has 6 returns in 11. He's basically 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He's definitely the first. There's no competition whatsoever over there. And his underlyings are good, and he's 6'8". So you could put him in. That's fine. I mean, I'm just the agony that it causes me doesn't reward me for the good pickedness. Yeah. So for me personally, I won't go there. But I think I need to just walk away from Spurs and not revisit them, almost like Leicester from a few years ago.
Yeah, get players you like, don't get players you hate, right? All over again.
Yeah. So problematic over there. And I just felt like such a fucking idiot watching that game transpire, and I'm just
he had 2 good moments, maybe you could say, Dom, and then the rest was just
a couple chances.
They can't even get the ball to him. The rest of the
that's
game
the problem. He's fucking touching the ball at the center circle. They have no. Kulu just passes the other team. Son's all the way in fuckland. I don't know what Sarr and Bentancur were doing. It was terrible. And that's the thing we talked about, is this is 50 games in, and they have had basically the same personnel. They still don't know who their first choice midfield is. It's how does he change this shit?
That is
every
bizarre.
few games, every 10 games, every 5 games, he's I'll try Basuma and Bentancur, and I'll try, before the Lo Celso plays, and
Matto, and
Kulu, then Matto plays. He bombs Matto. It's fucking pick someone and play them, so
and then maybe they'll get better playing together.
Yeah. I mean, what has Slot done? Not that. Like, what's happened? They get better because it's the same guys get the understandings. Like, it's not that complicated, and it's like it's just ridiculous. And they are the architects of their own downfall. It's just fucking so aggravating. And they'll finish 6th.
Yeah,
play in the fucking championship conference, Europa conference, whatever.
5 through 7th is their range. Yeah. They could finish 5th. They could easily finish 8th. Yeah, they could.
I don't know about that. They ship too much.
I don't think there's a definite team that's better than them.
Chelsea's better than them. Come on.
They're 4th. Chelsea's 4th.
Yeah.
That, like, other than the top 3 in Chelsea, I don't think there's anyone else. Yeah. That's like definitely better. I think they're probably the 5th best team in the country.
Newcastle will probably nick it or whatever. I mean, sure.
Those are the teams in the mix, but I think Spurs are probably the best of the bunch right now. But whatever, who cares? We're not a fucking table.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care where they finish.
So you also DM'd me that you wanted to talk about Bumo and you were considering getting rid. I mean, is there more that you want to go into there? Everyone owns him. He's 100% owned.
Yeah. Well, I think that we saw, I mean, look, he got a few goals in a row back before this international break, and he got the pass that went in at the end of the game in Ipswich that gave him that 15-pointer.
Yeah, the cross goal.
At 98th minute or whatever. And what was the other goal? A pen?
He has one pen.
That game? It wasn't that game then,
the pen was Wolves.
Ipswich? What was the other Ipswich goal? I can't remember the first one. I don't know, whatever I'm
blanking too. No, it was a pen. Was the pen. The pen and a cross.
So, I mean, look at these 4 games.
That's his 3 last goals. 2 pens and a cross from 35 yards.
Yeah.
That's his last 3
look
goals.
At these last 4 games. I mean, I think I watched all of them. He just plays like wing as fuck, and they don't counter with 2 strikers, with him being one of them anymore, ever since Damsgaard's been in. And he's just, I mean, look, he doesn't not enter the box, obviously, but he's just like not really centrally involved at all. Yeah. And he's kind of off a lot of avenues. He has pens, but the set pieces are all mixed now. In the beginning of the season, he was taking every set piece.
He takes some, Damsgaard takes some, Jensen takes some.
Jensen. And I just don't think he's, that like God tier, unbelievable. Like, you're insane if you don't have him pick.
Yeah.
He's still going to keep getting points because he's really good, and he's just really good.
Yeah.
And the team seems to be attacking a lot, but you can't ignore what his role's been and how bad his numbers and how bad he's looked from an FPL eye test standpoint and stats wise over the last few games. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
You're just burying your head in the sand otherwise. I mean, is this going to continue for the next month? Like, I have no idea, but that's what's been happening. So I think it's just worth mentioning and, just to reconsider, because I hadn't really been considering him as a possible move out
I haven't even looked at him.
Yeah. And I mean, the only reason I'm doing that is like, I'm getting Salah in and I have to, I have to remove somebody. So he's someone in my team.
and, he's a guy.
And that's where I started like, well, what's the case? Cause I mean, to me, it's like Bruno is way better than him. And Bumo, and they're, kind of the same price. So I'm like, I'm not getting rid of Bruno. And then that kind of had my eye turn over to Bumo and just really think and look more of like, because I was watching the games. I'm like, oh, he's not really doing anything. Like, oh, he's kind of floating around back there in the corner. Like, oh, he's kind of not joining in on the counters. Like, oh, he's not. It's Wissa. It's and I'm like, where's Bumo? It's like, oh, he's not there again. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to be alarmist
I think they're
about
onto
it,
something. Like, it's obviously very, 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 very far from an urgent sell, but
I mean, at the very least, he has pens. Like,
he
he's
has
not
pens.
expensive.
He has some avenues,
and he plays 90
he's
minutes
really
every
good,
game.
and he plays 90 every game.
Yeah,
I was looking at something. I don't know if this is interesting at all, but because I think that people have like the wrong take when we get to like pretty much exactly this point in the season, where it's like, oh, it's been 10, 11 games. We know who everyone is, but like the schedule's still so different between some teams. And I was just looking like, all right, these are the top 8 teams by a gambling perspective, and we all know who those top 8 are. And how many teams left for the first half of the season does everyone else have on their schedule? For example, Arsenal have 0. They don't play any of the top 8 teams rest of the first half of the season. We know they have a good run, but that's insane. Brenham, on the other, play 5.
Yeah.
If the worst is Brenham, Palace, Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton, all have 5 left for the for through the first half of the season, which basically gets us through the pileup. So, you know, if there was ever a time for Bumo, it probably is now, where you can like just get away with it for a little while. They'll probably lose all those games because they're not very good. They're like the 15th best team in the league. And then, maybe go back to him or reassess after that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Just something to think about.
What about Semenyo? Should I be worried about Semenyo? He's fucking annoying.
I do think there is a bit of concern because he also similarly, he plays a lot of midfield. Like at the very beginning of the season, he was not playing as much midfield as when I was watching them. He does a lot of midfielding, a lot of left, like a lot of wing midfielding, where he's just sort of hockey assist at best a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And they don't counter through him. And, when they have sustained pressure and they have the ball in the final third for a sustained period of time, he's more involved, but that doesn't happen very often. I mean, they've been playing some tricky teams. I mean, they played Arsenal, City, Villa away, Brenham away. Like none of those games are, any home bankers. And they do have they play Wolves soon and Ipswich soon. I mean, their fixtures are decent, but yeah, he's definitely not out of position or anything like that. And, he's also fucking 5'5" or 5'7". So,
and the thing is that's annoying with him is like
his 5 returns in 11.
Yeah, you love someone on your team to get a lot of shots. And one of the returns, everyone benched him, including both of us against Man City, right? And then he gets a 10-pointer, so it like almost doesn't count. But I don't know. The annoying thing about the way that he tries to score goals is that like it's way better to get 1.6 XG chance than it is to take 7 shots that are 10% chance. Way better. Yeah. And he never gets big chances.
No.
Like very, very, very infrequently is he in the box getting a big chance. Yeah. It's just like he picks a foot at random, he flips a coin, gets the ball, he's like, I'm going to shoot with this foot now, and just fucking lets it rip. And it's like,
I mean, his goal, his goal is cutting in low, far corner.
Yeah.
And usually it gets blocked or he misses the net when he does it.
He gets blocked a lot.
It gets blocked a lot because he kind of does the same thing, and it's always like a low shot. But
his average shot distance is 17.5 yards out. Yeah. So it's like not close.
I mean, it's from is he going to take some huge step forward and be, returning at a, one a game or go on like have 6 returns in 9 game kind of run. Like, I don't think he can do that, but like, can he do a 1 and 2, for like, I mean, I think I
still think he can. I still think he can.
Yeah. I mean, like he has 5 returns and we're 11 games. He plays 90 every game pretty much. He maybe got one sub.
Apparently he got pulled out of,
Ghana for some bullshit.
Ghana
I don't know, who knows. He didn't want to go to Africa. Yeah. So, I mean, if he continues on this rate, he's just going to be fine. Like, he's a fine pick, and ideally you rotate him. Like, you don't play him in the tough fixtures. And if you go to
my chart of how many top 8 teams that I have left for the first half of the season, they have one. Yeah. They have one, and it's home Spurs, the best of all of the teams to have when it comes for an attacker. So, it should be a run where they can string together some wins, score some goals. He should get some points, but it's just been frustrating because we've held him for so long. And
had him for so long.
The games where we really needed him were Leicester, Villa, and Brentford. He got 0 returns.
Yeah,
only return in the mix. We benched him. So
Yeah, the Southampton game.
Tough.
Yeah, he's tough.
Okay, we're holding there.
One of those 2 players will be Mo by the time this next game week comes around in my team. For sure. And I'm not for sure. 1,000,000% for sure. I'm not sure.
Wait, what's the rest of your midfield again?
Palmer, Bruno, and Dibgod.
Yeah, and Dibgod is at this point. It's like it's just you just let him die.
I'm stuck. I'm so stuck with Dibgod until I wildcard. I've already.
He's sitting on the bottom of the ocean in a chair. He's already
in a yellow submarine. I don't know what he's up to.
Yeah. Fine. Yellow card submarine for him. Let's talk about Mo. 2 kind of long questions. Chris G said, I feel like Mo is a must buy. I'm wondering who do I sell to get Mo between Palmgod and Haaland? Can you also talk about the team structure effect where it's kind of a choice between Erling and Mo and cheap guy, or Mo plus 2 8 to 11 million picks. And then Generic Pie said, continuing on this theme, I'm convinced Haaland is going to haul like crazy against Spurs, but after weeks of pain, I'm compelled to sell him to fund a move for Mo. Is Haaland and Johnson to Isak and Mo for a hit a good move? Or do you ride or die with Haaland? So I guess half these questions are like sort of Haaland. But I mean, what do we do with Mo?
You got to get him.
That's it. Surrender.
That's it. Yeah, you got to get him. I mean, it's past the point because, you look at his 14 returns. We almost got away with just an assist, but even that is like, it's still fucking good. Like he gets it seems impossible for them to play a game of 90 minutes that he plays 90 minutes and he does not get a return.
And guess what? He plays 90 minutes every fucking game.
Yeah,
so
like watching them play, that's what it feels like. And that's what it has been feeling like. Yeah. And it's been more crystallized over this international break. And so I think you're just swimming against the tide unnecessarily at this point. And, there's so many things that are different under Slot than Klopp that make him a better pick. Like he's getting so much less volume, but he's also, because of that, getting more free points with bonus. And he's not tired. Like you just watch him at the end of games, like doing good shit instead of blowing out of his ass and missing and misfiring, or not just getting the ball taken off him, or,
the
sprinting
bonus
up and
changes
down.
seem to have really been humongous for him.
It's unbelievable. Because he
getting
just doesn't,
fouls and shots on target.
Yeah,
huge.
like they basically, to me, watching is like they basically sat him down and said, "You're bad at doing this now. Never do it." And he just never does it anymore. Like he's never trying to dribble someone to take them on by himself. Instead, he's checking the ball and putting in a dangerous ball. Yeah, he's passing. Yeah. So it's like, instead of killing things, which he was just doing 8 times a game last year, which is like the washing up liquid commentary begins to come, because you just watch him try to beat people, and he used to be able to just do that at will. And it's like they just eliminated all the bad shit, and he's not working as hard. Like he's just doing all this great stuff.
This is a question for like friend of pod Baker or whatever. I do wonder like how much the bonus change, like is he farming partially also because of the new changes to BPS, like the dribbles, the fouls, I don't remember even all the changes, the fucking goal line clearances, whatever. Or is it mostly just like not missing big chances? Because even that, it's like the Brighton game, he missed the fucking 1-on-1.
Yep.
And he still gets 2 bones.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't scored every big chance he's had this season. That would be
it's impossible. But I feel like that used to be the thing, and he would get no bones.
But that's also because he would lose the ball 7 times in the game.
Yeah, maybe.
He's getting like minus enormous amounts of BPS. Yeah. So if you add on a -3, it's like, then you're just not near it. Yeah. And now it's just, he's not getting so many negatives, and he's creating more. Like he's putting more balls in, fucking unsuccessful crosses and shit. I don't know how they count chance creators. They're so stupid.
Might be good. That might be a plus.
And so it's like, and he's also, I feel like he's just been great.
My biggest regret with getting rid of him, it's easy to sit here and be like, oh, obviously Haaland out. Was it like, I don't regret not selling Haaland. All he's done is put up fucking 2 XG every game and look great. My regret with getting rid of Mo is just like, I was so laser focused on the fixtures, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Villa, with all of the Champions League games in between. Yeah. And it made me lose focus on the fact that he's fucking on fire.
Fixture proof.
It doesn't matter.
He's been playing great, and he's fixture proof.
He's been fixture proof for 10 fucking years. And I'm still like, I don't know, at Arsenal. It's like, fuck, he scores every game against Arsenal. Yeah. Every game. Not a coincidence. So like, that was the stupid thing. Not the keeping Haaland part of it.
It's max punish. Like, we're not sitting here and thinking he's going to double-digit haul in Chelsea, Arsenal, Villa. Like, those are 3 of the hardest games of the year. Yeah. Along with City, basically. Like, those are the 4 hard. And he's just 12, 10, 9, 14. It's like, he looks like he should be doing that too. I mean, everything is backing it up. And
it's like his points aren't lucky, but also we've been unlucky that it's been max punish. Like, both of those things can be true. Like, it's fucking insane what he's done.
Totally.
But so huge regret there. And we'll probably have to remedy it soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk more about Haaland. So
sure.
Oh fuck, I fucked up the copy and pasting here. I don't remember who asked this. Whatever. I think it was X50. He said in his last 3 league games, Haaland scored 1 goal from 5 XG, which feels like an insane underperformance compared to his normal levels. Also, just feels.
Sure he has 2, but yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. It also just feels stupid continuing to hold him when he's not currently scoring enough and he's 15. Blah blah blah. Do you expect Haaland to keep getting high XG? Do you expect Haaland's finishing to return to normal? If yes, is he worth holding? Have you wavered at all on that? Have you toyed in your... Yeah, me neither.
No.
I mean, it's simple.
For 1 second. Like, he's going nowhere on my team. I think you will get fucked if you sell him, and it's a matter of time. So, and that goes back to what I just... Same thing.
And that goes back to what I just said also, right? It's like, the Mo points are not luck, but us getting no points from Haaland is unlucky. Like, it's absolutely fucking insane. He could have hat-tricked in any of these games.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And for them, Kevin's
back.
It's huge. I mean, that's huge.
Huge.
Unless if he has some setback in training in the next 2 weeks, which certainly is possible given the way he's been operating lately.
Backing.
Minus that, I mean, him back is gonna be so big for them, and he's going to have to just kind of ride him and hope he doesn't break. But even without him, like we're talking about, and they've looked bad and fucked up, Haaland still just should be scoring at least a goal every game. So when that's the case, I don't want to get rid of that pick.
Pep must be off his fucking head right now, because it's like, yes, I know he knows that his defense is fucking shit and gives up big chances all the time. And yet he's like, I fucking pay this guy $20 million a year, $30 million a year to score huge chances, and all they've done is create huge chances for him to score, and he missed. Hard one. Tough one.
Yeah. They're certainly a mess right now. But that's another conversation, perhaps for another
conversation. Day. Back to the table conversation, which we don't do here.
But I still would not advise getting rid of Haaland for Mo. Like the advice
find
is
another
find
way
another way.
Yeah,
it seems very clear that every team should have both of them to me.
Yes.
And they're the 2 best picks in the game.
My game week 1 team.
Yeah. You knew it. You knew it. You saw it.
I reversed it.
You strayed.
I was doing too well, so I decided to rip it all up and give everyone else a chance.
Yeah,
basically.
Fuck it all up. Absolutely have to fuck.
If only I was as smart as that fuck on YouTube who just didn't make a transfer, change his cap for 5 weeks by accident.
I don't know who that is, but I like the story.
Someone commented that. I'd be like top 50K right now.
Yeah, problem.
No problem.
Whatever.
I
mean,
and Trent's hurt, so everyone has that kind of sinkhole of money,
Yeah.
as part of the moves to get Mo without losing Haaland.
So, that's that for that.
All right, let's talk about Arsenal. Okay. There's a bunch of questions here, so maybe we do one by one. But Mishka said, is Raya not the guy anymore? You can field this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly doesn't seem like... It looks very much like Raya's exactly who he was for 30 game weeks last year, instead of for a little, like 3 games in the beginning of this year. Yeah. Things didn't change.
I know.
He's back to he's gotten 1 save point since September 1st or something.
Yeah, since game 5 against City.
Yeah. So he's back on. Yeah, he's back on that bullshit again. And I mean, it's obviously not very probable that they haven't cleaned since game week 4.
Well, that's insane. Yeah,
that's insane, and that's unlucky. But even if they did get 1 or 2 cleans, you're still looking at sadness. You're spending $1 million extra on this pick, and he's not worth it. So it's a good time to have him, probably because their upcoming run looks really good, and also it's just 6 or 2. So who gives a fuck? Like I don't care. I really don't care. It's not worth $1 million to me, and I don't think it's a good hold.
Yeah,
if you can use the money effectively somewhere else, which I imagine everyone can.
Yep, another guy to take money out of for your Mo triple move or whatever everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Josh said, how are we feeling about bringing in Saka in a couple weeks? Offensively, Arsenal looked toothless, granted against decent opposition.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets a little more interesting, because I think we're a little bit delving into the unknown. Obviously, they haven't been playing great. And Saka limps off every game as usual. And we kind of are just like, yeah, but they're still so good, and they were still so good, and they have such good fixtures. And my opinion on this has also not changed. I feel like this pod is just us coming on and saying, yeah, my opinion has stayed the same. No matter what happens. 8,000 Reds in a row. And I'm like, yeah, it's still the best pick.
That's true. And also, he should be in no teams because he's worse than Haaland. He's worse than Mo. He's worse than Palmer.
And you think you can't have. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you can't have all four.
You can't have all four.
Yeah, that's very fair.
That's how I see it. So he's a great pick, and you should not have him. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I will not enter into a discussion about him being better than any of those other picks. Oh my God, here we go. It's just not. It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like, making that case, I think is ridiculous.
Yeah, that seems right. I think that's fair. I haven't thought about it in that sense, but I can't really argue the other side of it. I mean, Palmer's got just as good a run and
better.
More avenues, more open play possibilities. And then Mo and Haaland we just talked about. Yeah. That's fair. Sad for him. Sad for Arsenal fans to not own him. They probably will anyway.
I mean, maybe there's a way you can have all four. I'm sure there is. But I don't know.
I just don't know who makes up the rest of your team. I mean, obviously you're going cheapest possible defense for sure.
4-3 is all at the back. 4-5 keeper.
Yeah.
2-5-5 forwards. I mean, you might be able to do it if you're on wild card or whatever.
Maybe I should do
possible. It. Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a ride on that. Platty said, think we can expect Arsenal to get their shit together. How do you weigh going double defense versus double attack? So I guess based on what you just said, I mean, it is. I'm on Gab. You're on Raya. Having another one seems really good. I think Ben White we're both very interested in. Timber is the cheapest, maybe an option. It seems more viable, right? I'm still Kai curious, but I don't think you are.
No, it's just for me with Kai, it's hard to justify him as primarily over Isak is the biggest issue because they're the same price and Kai doesn't have pens and he's, they play more games. So, and he's also, not necessarily like the very focal points. I mean, we're just watching Kai basically not take shots for games. Yeah. I mean, he shoots more when they play bad teams, of course, which is coming. But, just from that standpoint, like Isak's been scoring. I think, so that's an issue for me with Kai. But, you could certainly tell. I mean, I had him at the beginning of the year. Like, I like him as a pick when they're playing well. Yeah. And we both expect them to begin playing well very soon after the international break. They're back fit with everyone pretty much. Yeah. So, I mean, again, the Saka issue just talked about, and they don't have another attacker. So, I would love it if, Martinelli wasn't absolute dog shit and, there was a 7 million pick here, and Odegaard at 8.2 seems really like a tough one to fit him in.
Unfortunate price for him.
Yeah.
It felt like a steal
like 7.5. Yeah. It's just
8 weeks ago, but there's other guys that have emerged. Yeah. And it's just, it's hard.
I mean, he might emerge at some point when they have a small, but that would be like a 4-game week fixture play. I mean, listen,
maybe it's Bumo, right? We just talked about Bumo's insanely bad run. Like Odegaard versus Bumo for the next, whatever it is, 8 game weeks, 10 game weeks, probably more because Bumo, I talked about up until, the end of the first half of the season, but after that, Bumo has Southampton, City, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the move. 0.7 difference there.
Could be.
That could be a lot of plus points. We know Odegaard in these fucking, flat track kind of games has, double returns in him. So he just got a return his first game back. Maybe that's something.
Could be. Yeah. I mean, it's a big 2 million difference between Odegaard and Saka at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, Timber is obviously the most interesting one because he's the cheapest and
by 5.
We just don't know anything about Calafiori. I mean, he might not play for 2 months. Like, I have no clue.
And we will never know.
We will never know.
We will literally never know. Like, until 2 months from now, Timber's just going to be on the bench one day, and Calafiori starts, and it's like, oh fuck, I guess he's fit now. News to me.
I mean, Timber, he does fucking pick him when he's fit and available. I mean, he's
started
been doing that
every game except game week 1.
Yeah. So I think Timber's a very reasonable pick if you need to save a little bit of money on that spot. It's obviously, again, right, risky because if Calafiori is ever fit, that pick is not a pick because you're going to just have you're going to have an expensive rotational risk there. So, but Gabriel and Saliba are always the safest plays.
For sure.
They're
for sure.
Yeah. White's interesting. 6'2". He was.
I'm really interested in White too. I mean, we DM'd a bit about this, but I was considering him on my wild card before he had some unknown knock, and I just got rid of him. Thank God he didn't play back to back and has no points.
Well, he also low-key has gotten the exact same amount of points as Gab this last international break period. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't have to say
he has an assist for Liverpool, and Gabriel does not. But I remember in my research and being like, am I going Ben White over Gabriel? The key takeaway from last season was just all of his attacking, and I'm not exaggerating when I say all, happened in the games against the bad teams, the bottom 10 teams. And he was just in the final third in all those games, all the touches, all the overlaps, crosses, touch in the box, chances created, all those. And that's what they have for 10 weeks. So
yeah.
I think there's probably no one's going to get him because everyone's dealing with other disasters and getting Mo and all this shit. But I hope someone does, and I hope he gets a lot of points for you.
Yeah, I agree. Good pick.
And
yeah, I'm definitely
wild card or something.
Definitely happy with the defense picks. They have a good run. Everyone's going to be okay. They're going to get cleans again. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. I think we covered the other questions there.
Okay.
I can jump to some other questions unless you want to talk about any other specific games or something like that. I mean, it's an international break. We'll be back in 10 days or whatever.
I mean, Villa, I don't know if we're going to spend too much time, but they look at sea, completely at sea. Very worried about them. It's just they keep getting worse. Their performances just keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And it doesn't seem like he has any idea of how to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, they play in such a way where they want low action, low event games. And if they don't score their one chance, they're just going to keep losing. And last season, they scored all their one chances and they just won all these games 1-0. Last season, play back that Liverpool game that they just played, that they score on that corner early. They take a 1-0 lead, shut the game down. Liverpool frustrated, put in a million crosses, whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't score it. They just didn't create fucking anything after a couple corners. And they just couldn't do a goddamn thing. I mean, seems like his only plan is
one clean.
Duran will come on and save us. That's his whole plan. And if Duran doesn't score, then they lose.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. And Emmy's been really bad, and Pau's been bad, and Carlos is absolutely horrible.
He's not a Premier League play. He's just pressing a service. And Cash can't stay fit. I mean, they have no other right backs. That's been a big problem for them. Yeah. They have a lot of problems.
Yeah. Yeah, and their best center back is also their best right back in Konsa. So they can't clone him, unfortunately for them.
Yeah.
That was a good one. We got rid of Rodgers and you got rid of Ollie and Rodgers. That's a good job by you.
Yeah. I'm very happy not to have them anymore. All right. So you want to do some questions?
Yeah, let's do some questions. Benji said, can you explain FPL and how to get points to me, please?
Cannot do that. Well,
good question.
I can. You pick players that get points, but I don't know which ones those are and in what order. So unfortunately, sorry, Ben.
Exactly. Yeah. Can't do that. There. Who is the number one transfer in going to be? Bruno? Salah? Delap? Obviously, Salah. Dilapidated is fucking insane.
Delap is so good.
Incredible pick.
Yeah. It's Mo. It's got to be.
It's Mo. God, Mo has just fucking murdered us so hard. What'd you think about that game? Because I watched back the mini game. I didn't watch it live. I watched it back though.
It was a joke of a game, honestly.
They created nothing.
It was a few moments, and they just won 3-0.
A worldie got an assist on an own goal that accidentally bounced off his thigh because he missed the header. That own goal
was the easiest header. If he just didn't miss the header,
but it would have just
been a tap in. No, I know, but he got points. But that was a monster. I mean, it's a header.
Yeah, that was the best chance of the game if he got his head to it.
And then and then
Garnacho also scores a worldie, for his other assists. I was like, wow, because based on how people were talking in Discord while that game was on, it was just like, oh, we're gonna fucking destroy them. Oh my god, we look so good. I watched it and I was like, oh, that was not what I expected at all. Expected a lot more.
Yeah. No, I mean, it wasn't pummeling them with chances or, but the game, there was no game. I mean, it was not competitive. It wasn't competitive. Yeah. And they, after the first one in, it was just like easily cruised to victory.
Yeah.
But I think it's just more how active he is. Like he's doing so much of the final stuff.
Yeah.
And he's not running around like, but usually he just with Tennest hogs, he's running around like his fucking headless chicken for 79 minutes of the 90. Yeah. And then the other 10, like 11, he's doing a few good things. But now it's like he's focused more on, he's not doing he's not wasting his life. It's so funny anymore.
How Rude comes in and just does the most simple bullshit. This is like a kid on FIFA would run the exact same formation and style of play as Rude. He's just like, how about 4-2-3-1, the most common formation in the last 20 years. Yeah. And I just put all my best players in, and Ugarte starts, and Bruno at the 10, and like,
and I could imagine him sitting with Tennest Hog and being like, "What if we just did this?" And he'd be like, "No way! Like
that goes against everything I believe in."
And then he does it. They just immediately get result. It's like, oh, okay, like this could work. But it obviously Amron's coming in. Well, I was reading this article. I can't get his work permit. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Come on, that'll work out.
Like he wasn't going to be there today for first training because he couldn't get his I was like, who's in charge of this shit? Like, how hard could this be? Just get on a fucking airplane and go to the field. Like, who gives a fuck? But I mean, they do have some tough fixtures. Arsenal away, City away. Well, City away, actually, we don't know how that
might be a great fixture.
Fine, yeah. That might be different in 6 game weeks time, but their fixture, and then they play Liverpool somewhat in the near future. GW12, it's actually pretty far away, but he's always available. So
it's far,
even though
but
they have
the reason, I mean, just to cut you off, the reason we're including game week 19-20 in our conversations, which we never do, is because game week 20 is like January 1st.
Yeah, it's in 1 month.
It's all like this is the pile up. As soon as we're back from international break, it's pile up time. Yeah. It's just like a billion games in a month and a half.
Yeah.
So,
November 24th to January 5th is game week 12 to game week 20.
Yeah, so it's just fucking craziness.
Yeah. And that's again, right? He's always available, plays 90 every game.
Yeah.
So, that's another, and like that's a player similar to like Bumo, not droppable. Like Semenyo, droppable. Like he could play any one of those Django,
Sinistera, Django, Clivert next game. Yeah. It's like, whatever.
Oh yeah, Semenyo's not playing like one of their great easy fixtures because he played like what? Yeah, he's not playing Ipswich because he just played Spurs or something. Yeah. Yeah, Bruno, I still think with Amram coming in, like it's maybe still risky to buy because it's so unknown. Like, I mean, I'm happy to have him. Unknown,
but yeah.
But like if he's playing in the front 3 or like if he's going to be 10, like, I mean, I anticipate he's going to be playing somewhat far forward. He's not going to be playing as one of 2 like 6s or 6/8s or something in this 3-4-3, whatever. But
isn't it funny how also Tennest Hog leaves and it's like, oh, Casemiro's pretty good.
Yeah.
Everyone was blaming Casemiro for 12 months straight. And it's like, he's pretty good. Yeah, like him and Ugarte, they just make tackles and win the ball, and like it's pretty cool, right?
Because he doesn't have to cover 3/4 of the pitch, like
literally by himself. It's like, okay, well, yeah, those are obviously the 2 deep guys, as they've always been, right? This, again, it's an 11-year-old playing FIFA just being like, CDM here. Okay, cool, yeah.
Oh my God, it's so fucking funny.
But fucking hell.
Yeah, I still, I'm bullish.
He's definitely a good buy, yeah.
I'm bullish on Bruno. I don't know if he's a good buy just because there's still unknown risk.
There is risk, but when you consider his price, Everton, and his competition, like you mentioned Bumo, right? Like, he's in the same bracket as Bumo, right? And the team talent is way better, despite wherever they are on the table, and Ipswich and Everton, and it's worth it. But Mo's the answer to the question. Dino said Arsenal, Chelsea, Brighton, all about to start great fixture runs. Can we review the best picks besides the obvious standouts for those that want to double and triple up?
Yeah. So where are you on Chelsea defense? Because a lot of people are looking at like Colwell and shit, and I'm like totally.
I think they're shaky, man. Overall, I think they're a good team, and they're probably the fourth best team in the country. And they did fine against Arsenal and fine against Liverpool and shit, but they just, I don't know. Colwell has mistakes in him. They all have fucking a million yellow cards in them. They're just kind of weird. And I don't trust. And Bob is fucking terrible. Like, he still starts. He's so bad. He's so fucking bad.
He doesn't know how to catch the ball. He has gloves that have basically glue on them.
Unbelievable.
Have you ever touched a goalie's glove? Have you ever like?
I've done it with the wide receiver gloves. It's impossible to drop anything. You throw me a fucking boulder 8 times my body weight, and I would just hold it with one hand. Like, oh wow, that was fucking easy. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Flies literally get trapped in there.
I'm with you on the defense. I guess.
Yeah,
it's
I don't trust it.
They're priced to buy because it's fucking 4 or 5.
They're the fourth best team, and their guys are 4 or 5. It seems like a good recipe, but also none of them attack. Right, like this, we have to get used to Maresca. Like, none of their Gusto attacks, and he's the worst attacker in the history of the Premier League.
He might as well not.
Yeah, so
he reminds me of Navas a lot.
Yeah, God, he sucks. So yeah, I don't trust him for cleans.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, they precisely have huge errors in them, and they will concede a goal. Like, Lavia is going to be pulled out of position. Caicedo's on an adventure. Like, Bob Monster falls down and rolls the ball to the other team. Like, they have all this shit going for them where I just feel like cleans are going to be
too many things.
Cleans are going to be just hot lava. But I still, though, I mean, 4 or 5, it's like,
it's not
you're
terrible.
Still comparing it. Yeah. I mean, you're comparing them to other 4 or 5 defenses. You're like, yeah, it's fucking fine. But I don't think it's like great or anything.
I mean, they have 2 cleans on the year.
Yeah.
One of them was the Bournemouth game where they got absolutely shit stomped.
Yeah.
Bournemouth should have won that game 3-0, and they somehow lost 1-0. And the other game is West Ham, who might be the worst team in the league. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then what about Ndot? He's 7'9".
I like Ndot a lot. I mean, I've always been supporting him on the pod and in the community as just a good player, despite his chances missing last year. And he's just fucking great. I don't know where he's going to fall. If we're all getting Mo and Palmer and Haaland, is there space for him? Is it him over Isak? Is it him over Kai? Like, that's tough. He gets subbed every game. Also, a thing with Ndot that we haven't seen yet because, he's been rotating the entire 11 in the Conference League and all that shit is like, when there's no Conference League and they just play every 3 days in the pileup, like, you can't convince me that Nkunku's not going to start one game here and there. Like, João Felix to start one game, right? Yeah. He's not just going to run him into the ground, I don't think. So, he probably, even though he's good and will get goals, he probably just won't make anyone's teams.
Yeah, the one thing with him, I mean, and them, is they have Leicester and Southampton 2 of the next 3.
Hello.
So if you can diddle around and do a little diddle here and there,
why don't we have another wild card? Can't they mystery chip us right now? I just want a wild card right now.
Yeah. Wild card game week 20.
Why did I burn 2 frees for no reason? I could have 4 frees right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So just to point that one out there.
Yeah. So long story short, I think we're both kind of saying might just be Palmer.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've kind of backed into, even though, I've been looking at their run. I'm just like, I'm not getting any of these other fucking guys. And I don't believe in the defense.
What about Brighton?
And then Brighton, we didn't. Yeah. Well, JP's back, emphatically so, as he reminded us all in 10 minutes how fucking god tier he is. He's probably just back to being a pick. He was in my team earlier this year, and I mean, he's clearly one of their best players. Yeah, and even Hertzler, I think will just start him as long as he's available. Look, pile
and the
up,
run's incredible.
December. Is he going to start literally every game from game week 12? Like, no. He'll probably miss 1, maybe 2.
Most players won't.
Yeah, most players won't. But the run's good. Yeah, they also play Southampton, Leicester, 2 of the next 4. Southampton at home. So he's 5'4". He looks good. I still think Welb's 5'9". Good.
Welb's
good pick. Like, they create. He's good. Yeah, good. Yeah, I mean, Mitoma still not a pick. I don't think he's a pick. He's just doing too much winger stuff. I know you like him a lot more than I do, but he's got.
Well, I mean, that's
he just
already
flatters to deceive.
Yeah, even that information of me like him a lot is like now it's like 2 years old, right? Because he basically missed the entire of last season. He hasn't like been a FPL pick in a really long time. The one thing that I'll say in his favor is, they've had this really hard schedule. In the games where you expect Brighton players to be good picks, he has actually dominated. And there's been very few of them because, again, their schedule's been so hard. But Everton, he had 4 shots, goal, 1 XG. Ipswich, 3 shots, 0.6 XG. Wolves, 4 shots, only 0.2 XG. But he's getting in the box in the games where you want him in the box. Like there might be, he's just good against the bad teams kind of thing here. But like, I don't know if anyone's going to actually take that risk, but there might be something there.
Yeah, it's certainly a risk. The issue is, he's basically, from an FPL standpoint, living off a reputation of one good month 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really 1 month where he just he scored some weird header. He had a hot finishing flash of a very condensed, maybe it was 2 months.
It was game week 15 to 30, basically. He scored a bunch of goals.
Yeah.
He scored all 7 of his goals in that run and got 3 assists.
15 games. So I mean, it's more than a month or two. I mean, but then he, had the injury-prone situation going on last year, and he's always going to sprinkle assists in because he's always putting in good balls and low balls and all that kind of shit. But from an FPL standpoint, 6'4", it's like you could talk me into a fixture play here because he has also been, his minutes have been very consistent. He missed 1 game all year. He's been playing nearly 90 every game. He's clearly has the left wing on lock. And
it's like him versus Semenyo. Who do you think gets more points? That's tough. I think that's closer than it seems because everyone's on Semenyo and literally zeros on Mitoma.
The fixtures are better for Brighton than Bournemouth. I think Mitoma's a better pick. But it's $1 million. It's not nothing. But
it's not nothing. Yeah. But again, it's
you're
who's
closing
using
your
their
eyes
transfers on that? It's like
I don't know.
It's hard to imagine people finding a way to one of your 3-ish transfers or whatever this week, involving getting involves getting Mitoma. I just don't see how that's happening.
And I mean, he has 1 goal all year, game week 1. It's like, that's the player he is. Also, he's just not a goal scorer.
Yeah.
So that's, you're really just rolling a really lucky die and hope that he falls into 1 or 2 in this little window of the next 4 or 5, which is certainly,
he just needs to get a couple assists, win a couple pens for assists, score a goal or 2, and it's like that's how he hauls.
That could happen. And but I mean, Jorginho Rutter, he looks good, but I
like him a lot.
JP's back. I like him. He plays 60, 70 every game only.
He's not a pick.
He's not a pick. So the minutes are too risky there. So
and what about their defense? I actually think that I think their defense is better than Chelsea. Statistically, it's probably a little worse because they occasionally will just get fucking destroyed. But they also clean 4 times, and I don't think it's unreasonable. They have games where they completely dominate and shut down the opponent in a way that Chelsea doesn't. So in a good run, I actually expect more cleans out of them than Chelsea.
Yeah, they have 3 cleans. But I mean, Dunk's been missing. He'll come back. He's 4-4. I would also, and I would back them over Chelsea defense. It's too bad Kadioglu got injured. It looks like he's going to be out a month or 2 or something.
Estupiñán's a pick, but he's 5. It's kind of annoying.
He's been looking
Bart's
back.
a pick for, if anyone is going Raya down or something, Bart's a great pick.
Bart's a great pick for sure. He's been making a lot of saves. They've been playing tough teams, but he has a lot of 5 and 6 save games this year. I mean, he has some 1s and 2s, of course, but he looks good. So
Ja, would you rather have Saka and a cheap striker or Isak and a budget mid?
Say that again.
Saka and a cheap striker or Isak and a budget mid?
I don't know, man.
Probably Isak for me.
Yeah.
Very high on Isak right now.
Yeah, he's great.
I mean, you shouted him 4 weeks ago, and all he's done is score every single game, basically.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
No problem. Benji, do I do Bruno for 2 weeks and then move him to Saka or Saka straight in this week? So, if you want to get Saka.
I mean, dude, I was not far away from hitting Saka and not getting Bruno. Like, I was really not far away from doing that.
You wouldn't have shown up for the pod, maybe.
I would not have shown up.
It'd be me and your wife, and then just mourning you.
Yeah, it'd be you and Damo. Like,
we don't need to go there. Last question was just Parmo, you know, the resident transfer addict, heroin
whoever
/
scores a goal,
addict.
Literally within 10 minutes, he's like, at player X2, whoever just scored the goal.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Question mark?
Parmo gets 5 frees every week, and we only get 1 free every week. It must be how it works. He put in the Game Genie codes, and he just gets 5 frees every week.
You guys didn't use your mystery chip yet?
He DM'd me immediately after the game again, like, do you like this -12? And I was just like, no. I don't.
DM me, Parmo. I'll say yes.
Yeah,
I will say yes to your if
you're
asking
yes
the wrong.
Is the answer you want? DM Walsh. That's a fact. Well, but he's asking who's the best sub 5 million defender. There's a lot, so top 3 would be helpful. Elgato said is Lewis Hall real. And then Parmo listed a bunch of names, but I think these are all names that we're anticipating anyway. But
I mean, I don't have a strong feeling in terms of a rank. Like, you could look, Lewis Hall's good, Dunk, or what teams have 4 or 5 defenders? Chelsea, NFL, like Alex Moreno's 4-4. He's good.
I like NFL.
Anderson's good. Fulham look like they'll clean sometimes. Like, therefore, like Everton have Michaelenko, he's 4-3. Like, you don't want Brentham, obviously.
Man United is a little interesting if they play. I mean, he's a real manager. They haven't had a real manager for, a decade. So maybe that'll be something, but it's hard to know. Like, is Baz nailed? Is Dallo nailed? I don't know.
I mean, Lissandro, I can't put him in my team because I fucking hate him so much, but he's the no-brainer.
4-4 is insane.
He will play in his best position possible. So,
but I want to remind people again, we mentioned Timber earlier. He's only 5'5". And Konate is only 5'3", and they're way better than everyone else we just named.
Yeah.
So,
and we also Bradley. We don't know what's up with Trent. He's like,
we don't know.
Like, who knows,
mean, it's fun. I forgot to bring that up. I'm glad you did. It's like I messaged you. I don't know when this was. It was Trent was having a bad game. I don't remember which game it was, and I messaged you because you couldn't watch. You were out with the family or whatever, and I was like, Trent just wiped sweat off his face and you could see his stomach, and he had a big bandage on his stomach, as if he got his fucking appendix removed or something. I was like, oh, that's weird. And he's like wincing in pain the whole time. And then 20 minutes, I didn't even really see anything happen. When I watch it back against Villa, he just sits down on the floor and he's just out. Flott said it's a hamstring injury. No idea, dude. Absolutely no idea how long he's out for. So
could miss a few games, could miss no games, who knows. But I mean, I think there's it's a risky one because they sub for one another all the time, but you could hodl Trent and do Connor in as another little spot. Have both double barrel right back action over there.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, what we've seen is he's going to rotate guys, I think, a lot in the pile up, probably the fullbacks, especially. I mean, Robbo and Simi are going to switch off every single game. So, is Tsimikas worth it if he starts half the games? Maybe. Honestly,
I don't think so. I just don't. I mean, he didn't
because he'll sub on in the other games. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to do
that much though.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to do both. That's, I think, something he doesn't. I don't know if he loves doing both fullbacks. Yeah. He had to do. So he doesn't want to play Bradley and Shimkas. So that might be one where maybe Robbo's going to play a little bit more with Bradley or something like. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know Liverpool, but again, back to the question. Yeah, they're just, even fucking Palace, dude. I mean, we're bad and we have some bad fixtures, but we play with a lot of defenders.
1v1 on the penalty spot.
Yeah, I mean, we play with a lot of defenders, and Wharton's going to be coming back sooner rather than later. And
Lerma too, apparently.
Yeah, Lerma's going to be coming back sooner rather than later, and Ducouri subbed on for a half an hour, so he's probably closer to his start. I mean, we played with 7 backups this weekend, and as they'll be back, so I mean, we're going to be fully fit. I mean, Riyad's gone for forever, and LaCroix looks fucking really good.
Is Kamada a pick? Hakuna Kamada.
So I mean, even one of our defenders at 4-5 is Richards is back. Richards is back. But I'm just to illustrate the point.
Yeah,
we're talking about roughly 10 teams in the league.
Yeah, and we haven't even mentioned a Bournemouth guy.
Sure.
Yeah, like Tennest got a fucking sitter he missed, but they have a really good run.
Yeah.
You know, I know Wolves got their first clean of the year, but I still wouldn't go there. I mean, they're really, really bad. And they were awful in that game.
They're ridiculous. I mean, I do think Hall should be pretty high up there, and on an NFO guy would probably be pretty high up there.
I prefer NFO to Newcastle.
The difference here is the fixtures are a bit different there. NFO have a lot worse fixtures than Newcastle. If I'm going off memory, let me click.
I wish so badly we had any. Maybe there's
Newcastle have a really good run.
Maybe they do. Maybe there's like an Italian newspaper or some shit that has an update on Calafiore, because if we knew that he was out for another while, because I think it's the same knee that he like literally missed the whole season for, that's injured right now. And Timber in this run of just NFO, West Ham, Man United, Fulham, Everton, Palace, Ipswich, Brentford is fucking insane.
Well,
5-5 Arsenal defender in that run.
Yeah, it's very nice. I guess it's just also how you like to play, because your worst case scenario there is you're going to probably get a little bit of points out of Timber, and then you're going to need to use a transfer on him within the next 5 games.
Something like that.
Best case scenario is you play him every game until February.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, this is just, he starts.
I have a cheat code. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saving, look, how much of a cheat code is saving literal 0.5 for a defender on a team that's not going to ever attack? Like, it's not a cheat code, but it's, you steal a march on the field if you're, that's just 0.5 that you can invest differently. Like to Saliba, who's 6, right? Another player who doesn't attack. Well, he actually almost got that assist if Trossard wasn't so bad. But it's Timbers. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally okay with someone risking. I mean, I spent a lot of time looking at him because I could have just taken that. I could have just taken that hit instead of and just done Rico to Timber. I had exact money to do that, and I decided it wasn't worth trying to, find one clean in a bad fixture just to set it up, and with the risk and the break and who knows what happens after, blah, 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 blah. So, but yeah,
Konate is still 5'3", and I mean, I don't own him yet, but I mean, it's hard to say he's not the best defender pick in the game, probably. I mean,
I don't know how I guess he just had the
5'3". He gets a header.
How is he not going up in price like a lot? I don't know how that's happening.
Yeah, I just feel like people just don't use. I mean, we always do this. They don't use transfers in defense, right? They just have Trent, like me, right? I just have Trent. It's not like some random week I'm just doing. Oh, I'll do Trent to Konate this week for fun. Like, it's just never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, see you in about 10 days, right? That's it. One ass to slap. We're hitting the, winter is coming. We're both flying red arrows and not getting the Patreon signups we were a month ago, but we did get one new ass to slap. Chris Stamatikos. Something else, baby. Get in there. Any last words, dude?
See you in a while.
Check us out at fmlfl.com. Follow us on Twitter at fmlfl. Support us at patreon.com/fmlfl. Subscribe, rate, review.